His wife cheated on him multiple times with different men. It's been a recurring theme in his life. At the end of this video, a professional psychologist will summarize these two stories and provide advice. Enjoy. Just found out that my wife cheated after 21 years of marriage. I don't know what to do next. I feel sick and haven't slept in 3 days. Please bear with me as I don't really post anything on social media. My wife, 46, and I, 48, had been married for 21 years, together for 23 years, and have a 22-year-old son. We have been having problems for the past year, and there has been very little intimacy or affection from her for the past few months. Unfortunately, I travel often for work, but I've really tried to make things better lately. I have taken time off and made extra efforts to engage her by giving her back rubs, hugs, and affection, but she just became more and more distant. She straight up turned me down the last couple of times I tried to initiate intimacy, which had never happened in the first 20 years of our marriage. I have also been suspicious because she never puts her phone down and is super secretive with it. I finally worked up the nerve to check the phone bill, and lo and behold, she has been calling and texting some numbers I don't recognize. There are thousands of texts going back to last year at all hours of the day, even on holidays. After seeing this, I confronted her about it, and she said it was only an emotional affair, and they had not been physical at all, just chats and flirting. This guy comes into her workplace regularly, but I have never met him. I was devastated but knew there was more going on, so I did some digging. It seems he is using multiple phone numbers to do this, but after some serious investigating, I found his name, social media, where he works, assistant veterinarian, and some other details. After a couple of days, I confronted her with all I had found out. She denied at first until I threatened to go public. She finally admitted it was a physical affair and had been going on for quite some time, at least 6 months. She claimed she was only physical within one time, but conveniently couldn't remember when it happened. When I pressed her for details on when it occurred, right after her gaslighting and lying to me for so long, I obviously don't believe it only happened one time. Holy crap, what a chump I've been. This is definitely a deal breaker for me. We had what I thought was a great marriage until recently, but who knows how long she has been screwing around. At first, we had agreed to separate and work on ourselves, but once she admitted to having sex with him, when confronted a couple of days later, I told her we need to divorce. We have no minor children and no major assets. She's had major medical issues, and we sold everything we had worked hard for to pay for doctors and treatment, so the divorce process is fairly simple here. She has agreed to move out this coming week and wants to move in with a single friend who has kids and crash on her couch. What the hell? She claims the new guy has 4 roommates, so she won't be staying with him, but I just don't trust anything she says now. I just don't know what to do next. The heartbreak and betrayal have me seriously messed up, as we have been together virtually all of our adult lives. I'm really grieving the marriage, and at first thought we might be able to work through it, but there's just no coming back from this. I'm super close with my son, and he knows she's been cheating and is disgusted, but he obviously still loves his mom. Here's where I could really use some advice. I really have a strong urge to blow this up and let our family and friends know exactly why we are splitting up. She is terrified I will make everything public and begs me not to go public because it could ruin his life, and he's a good guy except for destroying marriages in his free time. I know where he works and have half a mind to let people in his life know what's going on because he has absolutely destroyed my marriage and my life. My son wants me to just end things with her and not blow this up. He says I will be stooping to their level if I go public about them cheating, but this has broken my heart as well as our marriage, and I'm just getting more and more angry. Should I go public and out them? Anyone have any advice on how I should go about this, or any resources that could help me work through this? How can I ever trust again? Sorry for the long, rambling post. I am feeling pretty out of it, to be honest. Thanks in advance, said it. Thanks so much to everyone who offered support and advice. My son is my #1 priority right now. He also recently broke it off with his first love, who cheated, so the timing of this really sucks. I want to respect his wishes, but I've decided that at minimum, I will be telling our close friends and family, which will upset my son. But after this betrayal, I'm not going to give her a chance to just hide her actions and sweep it all under the rug. I also feel like I need to out my wife so I can maintain some self-respect, and that it's a lesson I hope my son learns as well. Nothing here I did justified this betrayal of our family. I asked her to please just pack her stuff and go. She agreed and will be out today. I also wanted to add that we are just filing a joint petition for divorce. We have no assets, just some medical debt, and we will be splitting that, so there's nothing else to really fight over. No alimony, no child support. I have the signed and notarized divorce paperwork and will be filing on Monday edit number 2. After receiving some nasty PMs, I kicked her out of the house 6 days ago and have told both our families and friends. She is supposedly staying on her friend's couch and using her address. It doesn't really matter to me anymore. I am now focusing on myself and my immediate family. I am moving to a new apartment in 10 days and am not leaving a forwarding address. If I personally confront the guy, there's a good chance I'll end up in jail, so our focus is now on the future. Thanks again to everyone who posted or messaged me kind and supportive words. Thanks for watching, and leave a comment, please. Story number 2. I just came home, and soon-to-be ex was in my house. I spent the last week in another city visiting old friends. On the day I left, I told my soon-to-be ex that I was leaving the house at 1:30. He said he would come and pick the dog up at 1 o'clock. I interpreted this as him wanting to briefly see me, which made me really happy because I miss him. Also, I had been extremely sick the week prior and hadn't seen anyone in 5 days. I just wanted a hug. He didn't show on my way to the airport. I texted him and said that I was really hurt. He called it a miscommunication. No, you stood me up. I've worked so hard to respect his need for space, and I finally stood up for myself. I said that the lack of communication around this decision was extremely hard for me, as was the sudden loss of any kind of physical contact. I asked him to please try to imagine what it feels like to be me right now. I told him I felt like I had been thrown away. His response was frankly garbage, just a lot of putting words in my mouth and weird contradictory statements. He said he wants a divorce. He also asked for a conscious uncoupling, but stressed that couldn't happen while I still have negative feelings. He said that I have to be honest and admit I agree with him, so that he doesn't feel guilt and shame after a bit of texting. I said I would no longer speak to him without a mediator present and asked him to not text me anymore. Fast forward a week and I come home to a handwritten note on the kitchen table. It says he is open to meeting with a mediator, but thinks we can meet alone first before taking that step. Thankfully, I had discovered this sub and a fair fog in the meantime. It explains everything. I finally understood that even though what I want more than anything is to process this, talking to him right now is pointless. His head is way too far up his own ass. I texted him and said that I don't want to meet up to talk anymore. We have barely communicated in 5 weeks, and I spent the last week processing the fact that, according to him, our marriage is over. I have also been processing the feeling of being discarded and had finally come to terms with giving him the space he keeps asking for. I suggested that we touch base in person in the fall. I will be away all summer, and 6 months seems like a decent amount of time for the fog to lift, so I can at least talk to the person I once knew today. He writes and says that this is actually great because he doesn't want to work on our relationship and was only offering to talk about it for my sake. He then asks some basic logistical questions, one of which had to do with returning the dog. He needed to grab something from the house when returning her. I said, no problem, I'll make sure I'm out at that time. I got home an hour after the drop-off time, and there he was in the front hall. What the actual? He said he got caught up getting things. He could have texted if he needed more time. I just said hi, barely made eye contact, and walked past him. It was so awkward, but I also felt like I took my power back. As a psychologist, I can provide some general advice based on psychological principles and relationship expertise, but please note that every situation is unique, and it's important to consider seeking professional help from a qualified therapist or counselor for personalized guidance. Here are some suggestions. 1. Take time to process your emotions. Discovering that your wife has cheated can be emotionally overwhelming. It's important to allow yourself to feel the range of emotions that may arise, such as anger, hurt, betrayal, and sadness. Give yourself permission to grieve and process your emotions in a healthy way, whether it's through talking to a trusted friend, writing in a journal, or seeking professional counseling too. Communicate openly and honestly. It's crucial to have open and honest communication with your wife about the situation. Express your thoughts, feelings, and concerns in a calm and respectful manner. Avoid blaming or shaming language and strive for active listening, where you genuinely hear and understand each other's perspectives. 3. Seek support. Going through the aftermath of infidelity can be challenging, and it's important to seek support from trusted friends, family, or a therapist. Talking to a therapist can provide you with a safe space to process your emotions, gain perspective, and develop coping strategies. 4. Take care of yourself. Caring for your own well-being is essential during this difficult time. Make sure to prioritize self-care by taking care of your physical, emotional, and mental health. This may include engaging in activities that bring you joy, getting regular exercise, eating well, and getting enough rest. 5. Consider couples therapy. If you and your wife want to work on repairing your relationship, couples therapy may be beneficial. A qualified therapist can help facilitate open communication, identify underlying issues, and provide tools and strategies to rebuild trust and intimacy. 6. Set healthy boundaries. It's important to establish healthy boundaries for yourself moving forward. This may involve setting clear expectations and boundaries with your wife about what is acceptable to you and what is not. It's crucial to prioritize your own well-being and set boundaries that align with your values and needs. 7. Take time to reflect on your own needs and desires. Infidelity can be a traumatic experience, and it's important to take time to reflect on what you want and need moving forward. Consider what is best for you in the long term and take steps towards rebuilding your own sense of self and happiness. Remember, healing from infidelity takes time and effort, and it's a personal process. It's important to prioritize your own well-being and make decisions that align with your values and needs. Seeking professional help from a qualified therapist or counselor can be invaluable in navigating the complexities of infidelity and rebuilding a healthy and fulfilling life. Take the time and space you need to process your emotions, seek support, and make decisions that are best for you moving forward. You deserve to prioritize your own well-being and take steps towards healing and happiness. Take things at your own pace and be gentle with yourself throughout the process. Wishing you strength and resilience on your journey. Let me know if you have any further questions or concerns. I'm here to help. Remember, self-care and self-compassion are important during this challenging time. Take things one step at a time and prioritize your own well-being. You are not alone, and there are resources available to support you. Don't hesitate to reach out for help when needed. You deserve to live a fulfilling and healthy life, and with support and effort, you can move towards healing and happiness. Take care. Remember to prioritize your own well-being and take the necessary steps to heal and move forward in a healthy way. You deserve to be in a healthy and fulfilling relationship. Take care on yourself and come to the next story.